Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Flight Room TV. This is the 69th installment of Overtime. I'm your host today. I'm Lighthouse. I'm joined by,
Hey, Concourse in the building.
we also got
Keys.
And it's me, Ruby, please.
All right, so we got a good topic for y'all today. We're gonna get into this story that came out over the weekend with Jay-Z and Meek Mill trying to go to I guess New York State lawmakers and trying to make it to where they can't use rap lyrics against rappers in their songs. So what do y'all think about that overall? What's the intention behind that? Do y'all think that this is beneficial to hip hop or just the overall culture? Or do you think that this is actually something that could be detrimental or could I guess, kind of allow guys to get away with the crimes they commit as long as they do it over a beat, pretty much. So what's y'all overall thoughts on that? What y'all think about that?
Man, honestly, I think it is gonna actually help hip hop only because first of all, you don't want to be constricted to what you say on wax. I feel like the authenticity of hip hop is the storytelling. You shouldn't be shunned or, punished for a story that you or an experience that you had and you put it on wax. And this goes all the way back to the Two Live Crew days when they were trying to, ban them for just talking about sexually explicit lyrics, Freaknik and all that was going on, but they were trying to prosecute the whole group just because it was a sexual influence. I know hip hop is always under the or on the radar for their influence, but I don't think it's one of those things where you should attack somebody's character and take them out the whole game because of something that happened in the past. Especially if you can't even prove that shit. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes motherfuckers be lying. So it's not even it's not even always connecting that dot. So me personally, I don't think they should be prosecuted for these things. And I like what Jay-Z and me are doing, Rock Nation, whatever, because I feel like it's long overdue too.
But I also think that by it being entertainment, right? Let's start there. By it being entertainment, if that is the case, then you can't just limit it to rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're talking about a legal system, the legal system that isn't just targeting rappers. The legal system is bound by everybody. So, I mean, you take a comedian, for example. A comedian say wild ass shit sometimes. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense for. It just seems like it's targeted.
Right.
Why are you targeting rappers in general? And like you said, most of these motherfuckers be lying.
Yes.
But it doesn't make any sense though.
Yeah, and it's almost like now that's what I mean. I don't want to, or it just seems unfair to have a target on your back for something you express, musically or lyrically. Like you said, other genres of music talk about wild stuff. I've heard rock and roll lyrics,
You know what I'm saying?
Slipknot,
Country
culty
jazz.
type. Yeah, exactly.
Country songs be wild.
Influencing wild shit. These people are just expressing stories from the past. So I got a problem with that too.
Okay, all right, I got a question. What if they're not just expressing the stories? What if they so dumb enough to actually put what they did in lyrics? XYZ, who was involved, names, hoods, even worse, your gang affiliation. So I mean, I don't know if you know, it's like a handful of motherfuckers right now that's locked up right now because of she doing hot boy shit, and they're unfortunately using your lyrics and your social media against you. So,
all right, but I get that, but let's not make it seem like the internet was just developed yesterday.
yeah, of course.
So they could have been did this shit. So it's like, all right, like you said, what is the reason behind it right now?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think the timing of it is crazy because right now is that drill music is probably the hottest thing with the youth right now, and a lot of what goes on in drill music is people talking about the crimes that they committed, and not just that, but it's how do I put it? Like y'all was saying, how was it like targeted, like rap music being targeted? Because rap is the only genre where people talk about actual crime organizations, gang affiliations.
Right.
They say names, they say neighborhoods, they say streets. So if you a prosecutor, you a cop, whatever the fuck, you trying to get evidence, I mean, just turn on the rap. They telling you everything. Like there's no other genre of music where people are literally talking about crime organizations and saying names, you know what I'm saying, to those crime organizations. So rap and hip hop itself kind of attracts that attention to it, you know. And then, you know, we was one of y'all said that was talking about the authenticity in the music. So if you have a genre that's all rooted in talking about how real you are, and you talking about shooting and killing niggas, and obviously, you know, if I'm a cop or somebody, I'm going to take a look at that because maybe there's somebody with a family member who was a victim due to that crime that you committed in that song. You know, so I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. I think the timing is crazy right now is because at the time period where drill music is at pretty much the hottest thing right now. Now you want to make sure that these niggas don't get locked up for talking about big crimes. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of money to be lost if these guys actually start getting locked up for the words that they put in on these rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how I look at it. I look at it almost like Jay-Z, Meek Mill, these entertainers, they're kind of being used as the middleman, you know, for the elites who actually run the music industry, and they need these guys to be able to make this music about shooting and killing people because it's profitable.
Right.
And not even just that, like a lot of these dudes, they really be doing this shit, and they be popping. Like, you know, the more like the people that we listen to, that we kind of came up on, they're not hot right now. It's like these young NBA young boy, you know, all them Chicago-based rappers. That's who's hot right now. So they're the ones that's moving the needle as far as the money in the music industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
yeah. So I mean, that's how I look at it. I feel like they're trying to protect them because like that so-called authenticity within these new rappers now is was actually making so much money. So if you was to arrest these guys for doing the crimes that they commit, then you kind of taking away cash cows from the industry. You know what I'm saying?
Kansas City just advanced to the AFC Championship.
Crazy.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Touchdown there.
Well,
yeah, man. It's crazy because I think this is kind of like a continuation of the episode that we had last week. We talking about like my conflicted side of, you know, being a fan of Jay-Z and him also being a Boule member. And what does the Boule do? They are the gatekeepers of the power elite. They're like the middleman between that, you know, higher echelon of what makes pretty much the gears, you know, turn and pretty much the society of the world, and you know us. So, of course, when I read this shit, I was like, oh, okay, so he's giving these guys the green light to, you know, pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No repercussion. Or I don't know, maybe put them in jail to make them even hotter because that's what, you know, we have to begin with. Like it's almost like rapper gets on the scene, rapper goes to jail, rapper comes out, he's even hotter than ever. So I don't know. Like I don't know.
I mean, and just look at it like this. I could right now talk about, I could say I committed a crime and there's no beat. A cop can use that against me because there's no beat behind it. But then if I put an instrumental and say the same crime, and now all I got to do is say it's art, and now that's, you can't use it because I used an instrumental behind my words. That's all it takes to get away with a crime. Like, motherfucker, if that's the case, I'll be out here committing all kinds of crimes and then going straight home on my laptop and just start rapping about it just to make sure I don't go down for the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Call something else.
Like, think about that shit. That's what I'm saying.
What's the end game on that?
And then put a disclaimer like on the like, well, if they still had CDs, like the little what do you call it, the inlet. Just put disclaimer like none of this is all. I mean, it's all fictitious and none supplies.
But that's even that. The question of that is that a problem in hip hop because you know we've glorified that culture so much where so many fake ass rappers who don't really live in the shit they're talking about. Right. Then you got some young kid who really is living that life, right? And they want to live like that because they got inspired by fake ass niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now because we glorified that type of imagery and shit like that, now we got kids out here really committing crimes and really going to jail over some studio shit, some shit they seen the studio gangsters do. You know, and I think that even that right there alone is a cultural issue.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I think this is just a continuation of that shit. If anything, you know.
And it's also funny because like I don't know, the violence, well, not the violence, just like the foolishness seems like fabricated sometimes, but I don't really. But I think like the whole design of it comes from a different place. Like I think like I don't know, just like the whole design of I don't know, just like gang beef against this rapper versus this rapper, this set versus this set. It just all seems like by design sometimes.
It do. I mean, that we talking about is remember NBA YoungBoy. Remember when he got that like shit. He had that paint on his face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just funny. But look, it's funny how like after he did that little ritualistic shit, and then all of a sudden now he just going after every nigga in Chicago. I don't know if you paid attention, but he was going hard at like every single dude in Chicago.
And you notice how they doing it?
Like, is this the music industry behind NBA YoungBoy? Him getting that face, that shit painted on. That was like almost him surrendering to the industry.
Yeah.
But is he signed? Is he like on a label?
I'm not even
like
sure,
yeah.
But that was like initiation. I agree with you.
I mean,
he just got out.
I think it's kind of funny the timing of when that happened, that like shaming ritual, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, now he just dissing every single nigga who's pretty much, you know, affiliated with some real shit. So, you know, I think that's kind of interesting. I almost feel like they're stirring up controversy, you know, because it sells.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
So.
And he just got out, so you know he's gonna be back on some shit.
And then the King Von dude, like even that rapper King Von that came out last year that got killed, like they still talking about him right now to this day in rhymes, talking about the dude who shot him. You know what I'm saying? Like they still be talking about like present crimes that just happened, and they like literally we saw it on camera. Like when King Von got shot, that shit was on camera. We saw who shot him.
Yes.
We saw the whole thing, and these dudes still running around talking about that shooting on records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if I'm a cop, I mean, why would you not? I don't know. It makes no sense. The culture is getting out of control for real.
It really is, man. I feel like it's senseless sometimes too, because it's like gray area, open ended. Like, what's the purpose like behind this? Just like you said, it's almost attention driven. But at the end of the day, you going to NBA YoungBoy, for example, you going up against the whole city of Chicago, somebody that everybody loved. I even saw Dirk hollering back at him, all types of stuff. Like, you just setting yourself up for failure, pretty much. You know, it's almost like they.
I don't think ain't nobody hotter than the NBA YoungBoy.
Nobody hotter.
Not at all.
Not right now. No.
So it's like,
but it makes sense.
But that's what I mean. Like, I just don't want to see no more death or anything crazy. You know, because that's what it always comes down to, man.
And that's another thing. Like all these rappers dying at like an astronomical rate. You know, it's like almost 2 a week. You know, it's like what the fuck is going on with that shit?
Exactly. So I just don't want to see it come to that. But like I said, it's been a whole shift since he got out of jail. So we'll see what happens with that.
And what about that one kid?
Pooh Shiesty.
Oh yeah, Pooh Shiesty. I
Cole?
think he's listening. I mean, he's not listening. He got caught up because of the Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
They used like the whatever money that they found on the scene of the wild shit he was doing. They matched the serial number to the Instagram post. Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. But that's the thing that so it's like, you know, guys committing crimes, they putting in raps, and they taking like evidence from the crime scene and putting this shit in the Instagram post. It's like, you know, and what drives it is the need for attention. You know what I'm saying? Is to be recognized, where it's actually worth it, like gain clout for, you know, some negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Just get yourself locked up in the long run. You know.
And that's what it is, just confirmation of the clout, man. Like you said, committed a crime, post that shit on Instagram.
But it is a sign of the times, though, because, you know, back in the day, it was pretty much if you was like, you know, living that type of lifestyle, you kind of was lived in the shadows.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You move in
now
silence.
it's not like that. Now you got guys that's doing that shit in the sun. You know, they ain't even shadows no more. It's, you know, I just don't understand this the need to be seen when you're doing shit you ain't supposed to do, knowing that's going to attract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, your ass, like, I just don't understand it.
I don't either.
I don't know if it's a generational. I guess because these kids have been raised on the internet doing nothing else.
Yep.
Not only
Exactly.
that, but it just also goes to show you, even though like the mindset that you have to have, and the mindset that has been so engineered to the point where even though I know that I'm doing something bad and I've done something bad that I should not do, I probably shouldn't put it on the gram.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I'm gonna put that bitch on the gram.
Yeah, and it just
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I think it, you know, part of that, it has to be a cultural issue. You know, I think we overall within hip hop or whatever, we celebrate, you know, like that lifestyle. We celebrate the person who, you know, the street life. Like we glorify that.
We
shit,
do
whether
glorify
want to
it.
admit it or not. So, you know, and then that shit really ain't nothing but a pipeline to prison to death. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
these dudes, like, you know, I guess just to be getting that recognition is worth it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's a thing where we even as people gotta look in the mirror. It's like, and put it like this, like let's say they actually start like let's say as a culture we be like, all right, you know what, because we don't want these young dudes going to jail, we just want to stop rapping about crime altogether. There wouldn't be no more rap.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? Because even the ones who be lying about this shit, like, you know how many rappers would actually have to stop rapping about, it would be damn near no industry.
It wouldn't be entertainment
You know,
anymore.
yeah, it's like we won't listen to them rap about now if they can't rap about crime.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and even the influence though behind that, just man, it's just their influence to violence and crime and, you know, low frequency and negativity and shit is way more attractive than somebody being positive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you don't hear nobody talking about gospel music like that or anything. Like, it's just crazy. Like you said, I think it's attention based. And it's just that 50-50. I can do this, post it, let everybody know about the shit, and it could be a consequence on the end of that. Or I can post this, you know, and it just boosts me and glorify me and give me clout. Like, that's the chance they take with that. Not worth it either side of the spectrum.
And it's funny because, you know, we was talking last week on the podcast, you know, just about Jay-Z and shit, and I went back and was listening to a whole rack of old Jay-Z shit, and he was talking. He was. It's funny. It didn't register to me as a kid, like the shit he was saying. But like as I'm older, I'm like, that nigga was saying some gangster shit. Like, he was talking about shooting niggas, all kinds of shit. This Jay-Z, I guess, because Jay-Z never really carried himself like that. You didn't it didn't register that way. You know what I'm saying?
He was like a cool dude.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. So I guess that made him more like palatable. You know what I'm saying? Like as a kid, you know. But like when you look back at it, like, man, he was talking about some, you know, like if we go back and you know, Jay-Z, who did you shoot right there? Like what were you talking about specifically in this rhyme? And it's like, okay, now I was lying.
He was moving way.
Yeah, what did I say about the authenticity in the music? If all our favorite rappers growing up, the Locks, Jadakiss, like all these niggas, and now all of a sudden it's like, nah, nigga, we was lying. You know how many kids pretty much hung on every single word these dudes were saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, some niggas in jail right now because they nah, Styles P wouldn't go out like that. Nigga, like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Not chic.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, so let me ask you this: so, at what point? All right, so if they post something on the gram or social media in general,
and they go back, so technically, you should be able to go back and incriminate other rappers as well, right?
I mean, I think that the difference is that back in the day, like guys used to talk about how do I put it? Like you just like, you know how like people freestyle and they be like, oh, I got the hammer straight through your face 45 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that's just nigga talking shit. Right. Like when somebody actually talking about a specific crime that happened, you know what I'm saying? That's a different story rather than somebody like put it like this. Like, I know Bob Marley got that song "I Shot the Sheriff."
Yeah.
I don't think nobody there was a sheriff who got shot, but it was like, I wonder if Bob was the one that did that. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to like a rapper, some gang affiliated rapper got shot on camera, and then the nigga make a song about what led up to that. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
that's different. Those are two different things. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a gray area though, because it's like you're now incriminating these people now, these rappers now, because of something that they said, right? But Jay-Z or X whatever rapper is something that they said in the past as well. So it's like, well, goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like the motherfuckers that's in jail now, locked up for weed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, like these motherfuckers are legalized and all sorts of shit right now, and I'm in this motherfucker like it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Across the board.
Right. But then what if these rappers or the industry starts using the lyrics against each other and snitch each other out with the lyrics and shit?
They're kind of doing that now.
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of see too.
Yeah.
Like it's starting to, that momentum is starting to build towards that. Like, oh, he hot, let me go and put this out, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like it's dirty ass game. I can see that happening easy.
I remember Styles P did say, like, on Twitter one time, he was like, man, most of the show was saying not the case, and people was like replying like, you mean to tell me when you weighed the cocaine it wasn't by the time? He's like, nah, son.
Exactly. There was so many kids out
It's
there everywhere.
Yeah, it is.
Not to everybody. Some people literally be looking at these like they take these words as gospel. Right. Some people really do, man. And a lot of kids, they didn't have like a parent or somebody to say, all right, this is just entertainment, this is just gospel. Like for real, these rappers are the father figures to a lot of these people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's crazy, man. But that's true. What was that last thing you put up?
This was what they used in this, say, investigators found, but this was at the scene of the crime, so it wasn't like they used it in the real moment. They allegedly robbed somebody and shot somebody, and they accidentally left a bag filled with
$40,000. Wow.
And it matched the serial number with the serial number that's in the Instagram post.
Wow. A Louis Vuitton bag that fell out of McLaren.
And then I think in an incident with Young Dolph, the dude who got caught, he shot a video after, and he had Young Dolph's chain like on his pocket. You know what I'm saying? In the video, this is after. So they said that was evidence. Like the cops straight up say, "Oh, he had like, how did he get that chain?" You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
but how many times do you think like you know, some type of, because it's really called something, I don't know the exact name, but like hip hop police. But they actually got the divisions in different cities that's dedicated to, you know, certain, keep an eye on certain figureheads. And I even remember like this goes back in the day when Jay Prince on the Joe Rogan show, he said like there was this one cop that was just after him, like dead, you know, hell bent on him, getting him, trying to set him up, and he was a dirty cop. He got arrested like in another thing like in New Orleans, but he was like dead set on trying to get Jay Prince. But be a hip hop police, like that shit is definitely real. But it's crazy because it's like full circle, because like these different, you know, secret societies or, you know, even gangs work with police, and like it's, I don't know, it's crazy because like completely full circle. Like you mess with, you know, certain people and you try to lock them up, but you also give them the green light to do certain shit. So it's wild. Not saying it's in any of those cases. I'm just saying it's wild how, you know, they play both sides of the fence, and then pretty much, you know, people that look like us and then with the short end of the stick.
So what do you think the end game is to this then? Like,
just to keep us in this whole matrix. I mean, the fucking the illusion, the sorcery of, you know what I'm saying? Oh, these niggas rap like this, influence other niggas to act like this. We give them the green light to act like this. We also funnel drugs and guns in the hood to make them act like this and give them the green light. And then we arrest them to make money to put, you know, to buy more shit to give to these. It's a non-going cycle. This shit is fucked up.
So if that's the case, then that's pretty much saying that Jay-Z and Meek Mill is basically trying to protect that. They want
exactly.
They actually work on the side of the opposition.
When I seen that shit, that's how I looked at it. Just because that shit happened directly after the conversation we had last week, and I'm saying I don't know which fucking Like I have like an affinity for the music and, you know, all the rap I listened to over the years with Jay-Z and all that shit. But as I'm getting older and I'm saying like who's he's being affiliated with now or probably all along, and you know his background of, you know, because he got like, I mean, you don't get like a 5% change like for no reason or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So doing this shit now, like you're helping out like also like privatized prisons and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Obama, because that's your man. He's also your lodge member and all that shit. He's Boule too. So it's wild to me, like how you can like, you know, sit up there and play OG and saying I can do XYZ for y'all and protect y'all, but at the same time, wouldn't it be more beneficial for them to saying, how about just take the shit out your lyrics? Wouldn't that be easier?
That's simple. That's what I was thinking too. Why you always gotta be against the grain so hard? Like you could have a different influence with your lyrics.
And I'm not trying to change nobody, just, you know what I'm saying?
But if you're getting caught up on this and this is the system now, like you gotta change, you know, your appeal, your direction.
But
it's with the music.
It's weird because like in the community, you always talk about no snitching, no snitching. Y'all be snitching on yourselves. So what part of the game
like
is that?
shit?
Now we protecting them from snitching on themselves.
What the fuck?
Pretty much, yeah.
So which means that you're actually giving the green light to more crime to happen and for you to put it
snitch,
on your,
yes, on yourself.
And then
get mad when somebody else snitch.
And then protecting them to keep making this music that's going to influence the kids. Because at the end of the day, a lot of this shit is stupid, like crazy disrespectful.
Right.
Like they talking about smoking on people, you know, ashes and shit like that. And you know, and these is popular songs. Like, so we gonna protect a nigga's right to make songs about smoking on people's ashes. Is that what we fighting for? Is that what we fighting for?
That's the whole thing, man. They call that like they gonna represent that as like a freedom of speech or some shit. Like at the end of the day, which is crazy.
They beating me,
but still, I totally agree. I think it's something systematic. We'll have to see what as the time progresses. But
goodbye.
You're right, bro. Like we know it's a system of this. We know about the boule. We know about the overseers, the gatekeepers, and all that. Like this is just an introduction to what's going to be happening in the future, whether it's bullshit or something legit. We see it happening like right here,
right?
And the timing of it is freakishly crazy. Especially since all the deaths that have been happening, all the indictments, excuse me. Yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah,
but I still feel like you shouldn't be constricted to what you say and shit. That's what's wild.
I just think you just be smarter than what you're saying.
You can't be talking about like murders and shit on wax, bro. Like I feel like that's the code. Like
figuratively, I mean, if it's performative, maybe, you know, whatever. Because like Eminem can say whatever, and people like, oh, you know, what a jokester. Yeah, what a jokester. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's crazy. He's acting like this crazy nut. And he's saying it with like vindication, but at the same time, like he be saying some crazy shit, but he's not saying anything that's he's actually done, and that's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, what if you go back to the song Kim when he killed his fucking wife in the song?
Is Kim dead though?
Nah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So but if she turns up dead,
then
okay.
Every motherfucker.
That's a motive. Yeah,
exactly. That's 100%.
Any crime, you need a motive.
He kind of created the motive too, you know?
Right?
Because all that passionate hate he had in that, you know, them songs for that woman. He would have been the first nigga I would look at.
Yeah,
like he would.
Yeah,
set him up the same way, like put her in the trunk, all this other
shit,
drive off
right,
a cliff, like have her in the car, all that. They're gonna think it's Eminem,
right?
Up, and it's gonna be hard to disprove that because of the shit that he said. What was that? 10, 15 years ago,
right?
Wow.
But it's a cycle though, because you being all braggadocious on the track, saying, you know, I do this, you know what I mean? I'm big dog, I'm big homie, I'm, you know, getting my hands dirty and all this, and then your fans were like, oh yeah, like, you know, he's official because he does this and that, and it just fuel to the fire. That's
what I was saying. It's definitely a cultural issue. I think we definitely egg these dudes on. Even as fans, we kind of fuel them to keep perpetuating that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It was funny, even that dude Bobby Shmurda, that when he just came out and like how he be dancing and shit and all that shit, like people were saying like, you know, he losing the street audience because he just having too much fun. Like he look like he too happy.
Somebody said he danced like a clown or a tweaker
that just watched a clown dancing. I think it was Whack 100.
Yeah, he was saying something.
Yeah, he said he's losing his
I don't
credibility.
fuck with Whack.
I don't either. That's a hating ass old man. I
Right.
can't stand that shit.
He what Nas say? That nigga's living in the second childhood.
Yeah, grown ass child, for real. But that's the thing, it's like we celebrate that culture whether we want to admit it or not. Like I remember Jay-Z said the game in that joint, he was like in one song, he was like your gangster image didn't, your lyrics didn't. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
But it's just saying that even niggas in the industry know that shit sells. So
Right.
you're protecting them. You're protecting these niggas to allow them to keep doing that shit. So
yeah. And then like on the other hand, like, Jay-Z is like up there as far as like business and notoriety and even like in the corporate world and all that shit. So like, why not use your influence on other issues that's like plaguing the black community? Why is it like focus on pretty much not even hip hop, just tearing the community down for real? Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's really benefiting. I mean, the rappers are getting richer, they're not going to jail, but people that's pretending to be rappers, they're not benefiting at all. So why not push for other things that can actually improve the just bullshit, you live in New York, all that stop and frisk shit, or gun laws and stuff like that, it's more tight, or even the virus shit that's going on in New York, they acting real fucking crazy in New York and California and shit like that. Why not use your influence, because I know you don't agree with everything that's going on right now. Why are you using why is it so specific to that? And then why are you using Meek Mill? Because like he's kind of like the older version of what these younger dudes are now. So I think
he already out of it.
Yeah,
pretty much. And I wondered about that too. Why does he use Meek specifically, bro? Like I know it's Rock Nation connection and everything, but like he put him to the forefront for some shit. That's like odd to me. I know Meek is like a community activist somewhat.
Yeah, and Meek has said he policy. He said he was going to like veer off from like the whole street message and all that stuff. And I like when he do rap about other things, but it's just like, when you gonna make the transition, bro?
I mean, I think like Jay-Z is controlled opposition. I mean, or controlled controlled opposition. He's supposed to be the guy to like, oh, look at Jay-Z fighting for us, like, because we always like kind of tie hip hop culture into like us personally as a people. Mm-hmm. So if we see a rapper get a victory, it's a victory for the whole black community. You know what I'm saying? So if Jay-Z gives off the image like, look at me, I'm fighting for these young black men to have the freedom of expression, to a lot of black people, that's a victory, even though it may not do nothing for us specifically in the community. You know what I'm saying? But it's like just a form of it's like a token. You know what I'm saying? Right, it's one of those things that it's like, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. It's like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really making no difference, but it makes niggas feel good. They're like, oh, we went to the Supreme Court and we won. Like victory for the blacks. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we be doing a lot. And the shit really don't be getting us nowhere. It's just like kind of like a so somebody to make us feel better. Like, it's I think that's just the best way to put it. It's just like some tokenism type shit.
Yeah, our people always gonna focus on that type of shit too.
The entertainment.
Yeah, like just like you said, little moral victories, or if it's a defeat, they always focus on that. When really they don't even have to care about it, man. They don't even have to put an influence, like, to have an opinion about it. And I feel like that will shape shit differently for real. If we stop paying attention to it and like really stop fueling it, it will be different.
And you're right. And I think if we could just straight up be like, because nowadays, with the surveillance going on and all this other shit, like it really don't pay. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the 80s and 90s it did. Like this, that whole culture is starting to die down. That shit's like dead for real now.
You're getting caught up,
and we still, glorifying that. And then, a lot of people always say like, oh, you can't judge people for talking about their experiences, but crime ain't start when gangster rap started, nigga. Like crime was been in existence. And when you listen to the music that was getting put out in the 60s, it was about love, it was about relationships, it was about like, you know what I'm saying, positive. I mean, obviously you always had your little, raunchy music. There was always those songs. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like these niggas was coming from the hood. Like we acting like these black artists, soul artists who came up back in the day came from like nice neighborhoods. These niggas was from the trenches, but they was making doo-wop songs. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana.
Exactly. Michael Jackson, fucking what's it called? New Edition. Them niggas was from the hood in Boston in the 80s.
Mhm.
You mean to tell me the niggas ain't see no crack?
Drew
Them niggas
Hill.
saw
Crack,
niggas saw
racism.
they saw come on. So,
Boston
but
racist as
what I'm
shit.
saying is, but what songs was they making? Oh, Mr. Telephone Man.
Right.
Exactly.
Why? Because there's a market for that shit. When that gangster shit, when the market started for that, then that's when niggas started using that. Before that shit, it was like, oh, don't nobody want to hear nobody talking about killing. Let's make some songs for the females. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Yeah.
niggas was doing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
like the only reason people talk about that shit now, like, even if it may be authentic experiences, but part of it is because there's a market for that shit. So they don't have to rap about that shit. They just choose to.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, the gangster shit ain't start in 91 with NWA. That shit was in existence in the 70s, 60s, 40s, 30s, and 20s.
Yep. And
You
then
know what I'm
stuff,
saying?
man.
This is-
Prominent.
Yeah.
Like they might be trying to eliminate hip hop on some levels too, though. Like with that shit, trying to just get rid of you, man.
I mean, what way though? What you mean?
Just like how they indicting people for lyrics and stuff. It's probably gonna, like, just like you said, it's a market for the violence and everything. It's probably trying to gauge it to make it more pop or make it more like subdued.
You mean like a
you know,
horror,
saying
like
some-
horror film type? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody.
make it like sugary. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want you to have like that hardcore influence. You know how like you
like
watch,
real mainstream, like
right? Like you watch movies from, we can say 2000s compared to now. You hear like some crazy. Say you hear like faggot in a movie or something. You be like, oh, it's shocking. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, that was the influence, yo. That was like how they like moved on like crazy shit. Like
Jay-Z used to say that shit all the
Sure
time.
did.
Like in the early, like all his old Jay-Z was throwing that shit out like it was nothing. And
I was
Eminem,
watching-
and Eminem.
bro, I was watching Naked Gun 33 and the third, and it
hilarious.
was so many. Yeah, it's funny. But then when I was looking at it, I was like, it's scenes where men are slapping women like to wake them up and shit. But I know motherfuckers would be like, oh, you
I
can't
used to
do that
love
to a
watching
woman. These, like, you know what I'm saying? Like back then it was prominent. So I just feel like they're trying to dumb it down or like change the evolution of hip hop. Like make it softer or make it like not more as intense, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, they
Or-
kind of are.
or if you say this gangster shit, it's a way you gonna get caught. Da, 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 like fear based, you know. That's how I kind of feel about that too. They
So
don't
do
want you
you
to have
think-
that influence.
Do you think that this will change the way rappers rap now? Like ultimately, let's say 3 years from now, it changes over time. Like, all right, we can't go as hard as we once were because we getting locked up now. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be a lot more soft, or I gotta be a lot.
Only way,
You see what I'm saying? I can't put my actual lifestyle out there, even if it is just quote unquote gangster. You know what I mean?
only way I see that happening is the most gangsters niggas out, which is Griselda. If something happens with them, then yeah. And I just recently saw WWE was trying to sue them because they had like old wrestling videos in their videos and shit. Y'all gotta stop that, man. Come on, bro. They put y'all on. They actually boosted y'all more, man. They made y'all relevant again. Like, this should be crazy to me. Crazy. Everybody wants some copyright shit, but yeah, y'all keep doing it, man.
But I don't think that's going to stop because the mind of like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 6-year-old that's rapping, they not thinking about consequences. You know what I'm saying? They definitely. I think it's always going to be, just fools. There's always going to be people who ain't thinking about consequences. You know what I'm saying? So, I think if put it like this, I say all the older people be like, I'm gonna start rapping about this shit because I don't want to go to jail. A nigga that's 14, 15, 16 that might only got $10 in his pocket and you gonna pay him to do that shit, he gonna do that shit.
And it's gonna be entertaining. He's gonna have an influence because everybody else isn't doing that shit.
And then not even just that, even at that age, you probably not gonna, the consequences ain't gonna be so rough when you a juvenile. You know what I'm saying? So they might even be like, it might be worth me, you know what I'm saying, going to jail for 2 years and then when you come out, you like the hottest rapper in the game any fucking way.
Man,
so.
And you said it, man. It happens all the time. That's why I mentioned that about NBA YoungBoy. Like, he just got out. I know you mentioned that before. Like, when niggas get out of jail and they rap, like, they always, like, just boost. They
the same thing with Meek.
They fucking,
Meek went to jail and came out a community activist.
Yeah, bro. He did. We was chilling with owners and shit. Chilling with fucking...
with Robert Kraft.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. After Philly beat them in the Super Bowl, mind you. But still. Had to plug that.
But I know as far as Meek, I think Meek is supposed to, like one of y'all said, I think he's supposed to be like the older young nigga. Like he's like the
the older version of the young guys that where they might not look at Jay-Z, but they'll listen to Meek. Like even Nipsey probably would have been like that guy if he would still have been alive.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Meek is kind of like the guy that the youngins look up to. You know, he's the closest thing. They're not gonna look at it Jay-Z and all those other guys because they too old.
Yeah.
So they probably gonna look at him. I think that's his influence. I think that's his purpose. And I think he Boule too, 100%. I think he right there with Jay.
And he probably got indicted during the jail shit, right?
I think I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but just like you said, I think he's Boule as well.
I think this dude
just get to that level.
YNW Melly put, he killed, allegedly. I think he went to jail for was a double homicide. It was two friends.
Yeah,
he made a song about it.
Exactly. Right.
So
King Von made a song about the girl that died too. But I don't know the deets.
But yeah, I mean, but the funny thing about this dude right here, when I first heard about him, he came out. They said, "Oh, he made a song about killing his friends." It's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? They straight up said that shit. Now it's like, that's part of his rollout. His rollout was, oh, this dude might go to jail for killing his two friends that he made a song about.
But we also got to be careful with this too, because this could be, like you said, the rollout. This could be to the point where they're not just gonna stop here with rappers. It can get to the point where you no longer going to get your IG page shut down or some shit that you say.
True.
You're gonna get a knock on the door, and it's gonna be the boys, and they there to lock your ass up. So your freedom of speech is going.
True.
It's already out the window.
I mean, put it like this: before the internet age, niggas wasn't talking about the crimes they was committing. Period. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
maybe
true.
we should just go back to the old school way. We can still keep the internet, and you just keep your mouth shut about the crimes you commit.
I agree with that.
There was definitely a time in world history where niggas was quiet about the dirt they did. Like, so
yeah.
But
I see what you're saying though, B. Like if they're gonna allow it now, like who's to say that they, don't keep the ball rolling and take more rights and more rights and more rights. And it's crazy because like I don't think nobody's monitoring this shit I think it's like AI. Like for them to be so quick to like shit that you post, like, oh, you need to put this, COVID disclaimer on here. Oh, this is reportedly false. It could be false and misleading. Oh, this is, sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And it could be nothing at all. Bitch can fucking be spread eagle on IG all day. But if you post something a little, subjective, you getting, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's like AI. So
you're saying it's an algorithm to pretty much.
I don't know what it is, like image like AI, because I seen like a post the other day where it's like, oh, this could be like vulgar or something. Like, do you want to proceed and watch? And when I press proceed and watch, of course I'm gonna press proceed and watch. But when I press proceed and watch, it was just like a dude. He made like these graphics where like he would just like fall down and like fall into like liquid or some shit like that. And they thought that was like, too much for people to see. But that's why I think it's like a computer, like actually just how like one of our videos got censored. I think it's like a computer. You say certain things, you show certain things, and it kind of like puts like a flag on your shit. And then they'll like send it up to actual human to review. So
no, I'm right. Like case sensitive or whatever is like has to go in the review, and then just like you said, by a real person, they make the decision after that shit. Algorithms.
Yeah, some of the YouTubers I watch, they'll say some shit like they'll talk about the vaccine and they won't say like COVID. They'll like spell it out because they was like, if I say this word, it's gonna come out.
It do. So yeah.
Oh man.
Rather say jab going forward. Yeah. But yeah, man.
So I mean, what's the conclusion as far as this whole thing? Are Jay-Z, Meek, these other? Because it wasn't just them; it was some other entertainers. I saw like Robin Thicke, Kelly Rowland,
Big Sean,
some other people. But it's like, are they? Is this just some music industry shit? Or are they trying to preserve the culture? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or is this just, because this is all about money at the end of the day?
It is.
I think because like I said, like, why not fight for some, other than that, like, tax cuts or, you know what I'm saying? Something real, something substantial that affects everybody. Y'all talking about, you know what I mean? Rappers staying out of jail that's doing hot shit. Yeah, like y'all are making the block hot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all making the block hot for everybody.
Y'all trying to protect the bullshit.
Yeah, like so there has to be some type of ulterior motive behind that shit, and I think it is to keep the cycle going that they're already in. So, and then if you look like, you know, who's involved with that, you know, secret societies and the whole what do you call it, the was it CAA, the correctional, you know what I mean, keeping people locked up and making money off that shit. It's just one big circle.
Prison is definitely a cycle.
One big circle. Like, man, when we say all conspiracies are connected, literally all conspiracies are connected. Like, you know, intelligence agencies, CIA, put drugs in the community to lock people up, to make money, to buy guns. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To give guns to the community, to lock people up. Like, it's a never-ending circle.
Yep.
Never ending.
And it's always young boys too. That's the ones that's, you know, pretty much.
We watch Snowfall. It's in that shit.
But that's every community. You know, they always find somebody to like plant that shit on and like make you carry out the message too, man. That shit's crazy. Especially that drug culture, 80s, 90s. That was a heavy influence. Give them the drugs, you know, influence the community, bring them down, but then we gonna get your ass at the end of the day. And we gave that shit to you. Yeah, so.
And we said this shit before in the show, like even like the whole structure of, you know, gangs and red and blue and just like Democrat and shit, even the two pillars and Freemasonry, red and blue and all that shit, or how you're initiated, the same thing as secret societies and all that stuff. You jump in, you gotta do compromise and shit for you to be down.
Yep.
Like it's all the same structure. All the same structure. So like and pretty much like the rack of the motherfuckers from 6ix9ine or Lucci right now is locked up. I fuck with Lucci. It's not even like, you know, crimes directly. It's like racketeering, conspiracy shit because you're gang affiliated.
Conspiring.
Because you gang affiliated.
Exactly.
But you know what? It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because if you go on there and you're talking crime, X, Y, and Z, you get locked up. You go in there, you talking peace and happiness, and you trying to influence motherfuckers to do the right thing, or,
you're like, oh, look at Mr. Do Good.
expose certain things about the government and tell the truth. That ain't right either. So it's like, God damn, they want you to stay. They don't want you to be too high. They don't want you to be too low. They want you to stay your ass right in the middle. Stay on the couch. Watch the news. Do what the fuck we say. Continue to be the puppet, regardless. It's the weirdest shit.
Like Kendrick.
That's why I was gonna say, because the thing with Kendrick, you know, like Kendrick still promotes that shit, even though he might say, you know, oh, I was a good kid, or I wasn't involved, I was watching from the window and shit, but he's still talking about it. He's still promoting this shit. You know, it's like, oh, I just want to bring the gangs together. Well, then you promoting the gangs by even talking about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like he's still a part of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he has bad intentions or nothing like that, but he is still like, you know, what's the word? Marketing the gang shit. You know what I'm saying? He's still marketing that shit. So
he said I influence on
it.
Yeah. I fuck with Kendrick. I fuck with everybody. I mean, I fuck with everybody's music that, you know, we mentioned. It's just I don't know.
Just give me a sign during the Super Bowl, bro. Just let me know you all right, man. Let me know they ain't got you, man.
It's just like I gotta see something from, you know, somebody.
Like soon too, man. Like, who gonna give the pushback? That's what I'm saying. Like, who's gonna give the clarity on shit? You know,
but it's like you be so geeked up to get in the industry, I guess. So you gotta play by the rules, and then when you do realize, you know, if you don't come in there with a plan, like I said, like last week, like I'm going to get in here, I'm going to infiltrate shit, and then I'm going to flip the script. I think if you don't come in there with a plan, if you realize it halfway, you kind of like, you know, you going to you going to muddy the water, just, you know what I mean, here and there. You ain't going.
Oh, you're right.
You ain't gonna be like, hey, surprise, motherfucker. 9/11 was inside job. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta come in with that plan, man. Like, cause it's only a matter of time before it switches on you. You know, before you're the one that's supposed to be controlling the whole market of people and do this shit for the higher ups of the powers that be or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you won't even realize that shit.
I mean, it damn near seemed like, like let's say a conspiracy. Let's create gangs, and then like we'll always have like a free, like a pipeline of potential guys that we can just grab them right out the hood and just put them on the platform. And now they making millions of dollars from us because they fit the bill. They from Compton. They are in the gang. They've been to jail. You know what I'm saying? They got face tattoos.
And that's
what
why
I'm
I
saying?
say that shit about that life insurance shit though too, man. Like, oh yeah, we already got you, blah blah blah. You've been to jail, you've been all this, but we expect you not to make it, so we gonna need that back after you give us that influence. After you sign here, blah blah blah. Your influence will live forever, but we gonna need that cash.
And then if you die, they're gonna make more money because when rappers get killed, they sell more records.
Exactly.
So they're gonna get money off your death too.
I feel like that's part of this like marketing plan right now too.
So they got a checklist.
They do.
I mean, you can't tell.
Yeah. I seen a recent video of a dude like it was like in a boardroom meeting, a boardroom like label meeting. He was like rapping and he broke the table and shit. It was like when Bobby Smurda was trying to get signed. And I was like, I mean, just like standing back and looking at it, you just like gotta look at it like, why are these dudes making decisions on what's hot in hip hop? Like, y'all don't see that? Like,
even that, they don't even look like they would fit the bill for some shit like
exactly.
That. You understand what's happening.
So if that's the case, then they could have. When R. Kelly was on trial, and based off of some of the shit he used to say in his songs, he'd be like, yo, they back there and be like, yo, nigga, you was wilding.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you was wilding like a motherfucker. But it's like now it's just like I feel like they're targeting rappers in general.
I mean,
rappers
who do it like them?
Hey, who's more open with that shit?
Nigga, this nigga had whole albums.
Yeah, tapes.
I mean, but R. Kelly is like, he's like I ain't want to say he's an anomaly because there's probably a bunch of other motherfuckers behind the scenes that be doing that shit. But what I'm saying is that the difference between rap has like a crime like aspect that's tied into the culture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's just the only difference. I feel like that's the reason why rappers get targeted because I mean, every year somebody gonna come out talking about some crime. Like, you can't get away from that shit. I mean, all my fucking favorite rappers growing up, they always talking about that shit on some level. For real, to keep it all the way real, Kanye was kind of like the nigga that kind of changed the game a little bit because everybody was trying to be a gangster until Kanye came on the scene.
You're right.
And then after Kanye, that's what opened the doors for like the Wiz Khalifas and the Drakes and all these other
Travis Scott.
But before Kanye, everybody was a thug.
No, you're right. I forgot about Luffy.
100 counts. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's overtime 69 though.
Yeah. Oh, that's some more shit. But yeah. We can get there if y'all want to.
Yeah, what
was that?
Talking about how I mean, pretty much on the same lines, how the CIA pretty much uses their willpower to prop up people in crime like a El Chapo. He's aided by the CIA, DEA. Like, you don't go that long untouched. Like, they're too sophisticated for you just be, having free reign for like decades.
Yeah, man.
To get to that level.
Traded early.
I mean, they kind of showed that in Ozark a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was early on for real. It was like the first season when that freak ass DA agent was on his ass.
Yeah.
That
shit was wild.
Well, yeah, you don't.
That was wild.
Yeah,
they got watchful.
That was a sick ass character.
Yeah,
that motherfucker.
He was probably one of the best. I'm talking about like acting wise and like
sick fucking
character wise. He was probably the illest motherfucker on that show. But yeah, yeah, see, yeah, and but yeah,
yo, he had some disturbing scenes in that shit, man.
Yeah.
He did.
Fucking with a goddamn hillbilly.
Yeah, anybody wants the honors.
A gay hillbilly.
He was wild.
Yeah.
That's all you.
But it's crazy. He knew who to fuck with.
Yeah,
because he pulled his file and he seen he was already fucking with. You know what I mean? So,
man, look, all these motherfuckers.
but that's the thing. Like these intelligence agencies, and I
That be
mean,
their job.
yeah, even the mafia.
Yeah, I know.
The
I
mafia
see
is
kinda-
directly related to, like, you know, the Vatican and
all that
the
shit.
Catholic Church and all that
They
stuff.
carry out a lot of shit for them too.
Yeah,
You know?
launder money.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Godfather 3. The nigga was trying to buy shares in the Vatican.
Look at like them gangs of Chicago and all that shit too. Like they
The worst fucking
mafia-
Godfather.
It was the worst. Part 2, the best ever, longest ever.
I think 1 was the best. Matter of fact, they're the same movie. 1 and 2 is the same
Yeah,
movie.
they are.
Yeah.
They are.
But 3 is terrible. But yeah, he was trying to buy stake into the Vatican. And the Vatican is pretty much the umbrella for the CIA.
Yeah, you gotta get initiated for that.
Now, see that now we talking about something that's way deeper than what we was talking about earlier.
I mean, it's pretty much the same lines.
But we've gone deeper.
Because
that's it.
The mafia is probably bigger than Bloods and Crips.
Vatican, bro.
The Vatican is the CIA.
I know.
Using the influence of
100%.
Nigga. You ain't about to just be.
There's no better intelligence company or, you know, front that's that's higher than the Vatican.
You're right. They still protecting the priests and everything right now.
Just think about all the books and records that they have underneath that junk. So that's an endless amount of knowledge. That's what intelligence is. Spying, cameras, all that stuff, drones.
And even keeping the knowledge for themselves. It ain't even right.
That's the truth.
And they employ the mafia, and then CIA
They employ everybody.
Gangs and
the Queen. Everybody.
Central America drug runners and all that stuff, man.
Everybody.
And then that comes into America, then they employ people running guns, and I don't know. It's too much, like Corey say.
It is too much. It's too much. And I don't like talking about the Vatican because their stuff is like the church. When you get into church and religion and everything, people get blinded by, like, you know.
I mean, but isn't that like who like took over like nations?
Yeah, pretty much. The church?
Yeah.
I mean,
Crusades and
the
Spanish Inquisition and all that stuff. They took over land.
European.
With violence. So
yeah. But the crazy thing is they took over the land with violence and then like pushed their own religion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They burned all their culture, their books and history, and they pushed their own into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is wow. So
that's scary, man.
It's the Vatican.
But yeah, man, that shit is wild. So I mean, yeah, pretty much everything is a conspiracy. Everything is a setup. Even the shit that seems like, even something as simple as music, is weaponized against us. Just even this as an overall culture. But the question is, like, when do we take that power back? You know what I'm saying? Because they always going to feed us shit that's going to pretty much keep us in control, keep us on that hamster wheel. And it's like we're having this conversation now. That means we're aware of it, but it's like, when do we take that power back as a people? You know what I'm saying? Because we could talk about this shit till our face turns blue, but I don't mean these niggas going to stop, perpetuating the bullshit. They're not going to, mean they're going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, the responsibility has to be on the people somewhat. We can't, like, if we keep pointing the finger, like, nigga, we feed the beast. You know what I'm saying? We fuel this shit, so.
We need the numbers. We need the conscious numbers.
Just the awareness.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'm saying that, and then I'm probably going to throw some Benny on my way home, though.
You know it.
But
still, you can separate that shit from reality. You know
true.
what I'm saying? You understand what's going on. So it's different. Just like you were saying earlier, motherfuckers is out here believing that shit to the T. Like, oh, I gotta be Benny. I gotta be this. You know what I'm saying? They see the covers. They see all this other shit. But it don't be like that. He even paid the price for the shit that he did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, what's the benefit?
You see that? Vatican Bank laundered mafia's La Vegas money. John Paul I murdered for objecting. What?
Wow, murdered though.
And 79 when after just 33 days, 33. Pope John.
In 33 too.
Yeah, you would think
See
the
that number?
Pope
Of
would be.
course.
You would think the Pope would be untouchable.
Right.
Exactly. And 33 is the number of action.
What the hell is going on? Oh, this is wild.
Yeah, the symbolism.
Look
I
at
ain't
that
see
shit.
that.
That nigga got on fucking drapes.
Hold on, go back up. He
Nigga
dressed
got
like an
on-
owl.
Yeah,
Go back
much.
up to the that second one. I want to see his hand.
Right there.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers just look creepy.
He
to me,
looks
man.
sadistic. Yeah, he looks.
Yeah, they look like they're doing
freak.
like a ritual.
Straight up freak.
The smiling Pope.
That should be so strange to me, man.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So, do you think
I'm good on it.
possibly,
I mean, hidden.
and this is just me thinking because it's OT, do you think that the reason why we ultimately, as a people, you know what I'm saying, we sit here and we say why and like why this and why does this happen and how come they can do this and how come the elites can just, they have all this control we don't see. And you know what I'm saying, people like us, we sit around round tables and we ask ourselves, all right, so what can we do? You know what I'm saying? And like there is no clear cut answer to that. Do you think that the reason why we can't find an answer is because we've grown so far, like our relationship with God has grown, like we've gone so far away from it to the point like his outreach to us, like we aren't asking ourselves the right questions. Wow. We're asking ourselves the questions, but we aren't asking. You see what I'm saying?
Like
as a people,
our antennas aren't as strong, basically.
Exactly.
Our spiritual antennas,
spiritually,
I guess you would say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you just like they're saying that, like you gotta cry out to God in order to get, you know what I'm saying? But like as a people, everybody just going their own separate ways. Yeah. So we aren't collectively, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting how like we can see the problem, but there is no like clear cut way. You know what I'm saying? So and it seems like right now, like we gonna need a lot of help in order to do that, you know?
I totally agree with you, but I feel like that's why when we don't know, you just push, force. That's what everything's made of. Violent, like let's attack. Just the numbers, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But it has to be a message to the forefront. Like people have to understand the mission too. I feel like we're so numb to things that are going on around us. We just don't take the time to understand what like would help us progress. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That shit bothers me too.
Because we sit here and we're talking about like why niggas is getting, our conversation is why niggas is getting locked up for some shit that they technically did, but they put it on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seems like we've gone like so far left to balance is just like, this is what we talking. We said that shit last week. Like, this is what we talk about. This is where we've come to the point where niggas who's actually doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn. It's like, like,
they really did it.
And it's like, okay, this is where we're at right now. And it's like, God damn, this shit is crazy.
That's real.
You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think it's just so many distractions, you know what I'm saying, on just an everyday. And I think it's like an addiction to those distractions, you know what I'm saying? It's like we just so used to, you know, watching the game, dealing with work, you know, whatever the fuck it is that occupies your time, but like none of that is like really you know, making you a better person, or it's not like, you know,
developing a stronger spiritual understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if we didn't have our phones, we didn't have video games, we didn't have the NFL, we didn't have work, we probably be spending all our time developing our relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? Or just trying to have a better understanding of life and what's real. You know what I'm saying? But I think we just so distracted by all our, just vices, and I think we be fighting for those vices, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of what pulls us away. I think that's probably what it is, though. It's just the bunch of distractions, bro. Like your vices are distractions, even on the most subtle. Like sometimes you might be fucking bored and be like, man, I'm about to just go buy me something new, just so I can feel like I did something. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just, but I'm saying, but that's the shit. It's like, bro, you could have used that time, energy, something to, in a positive way to better yourself, whatever the fuck it may be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's just I think that's what it is, though. I think it's just so many vices, so many, because we almost have like too many options. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like just focusing on what's important. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Hey, this quote is kind of crazy.
Who's it from?
Talking about hip hop police. They're a shadowy, specialized unit that conducts overly aggressive investigations that monitor every move of entertainers.
Every move.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though, because if you think about it, these people are like very influential. So you would think that, the industry will hire people to work behind the scenes to follow these motherfuckers.
Secret shoppers.
You know what I mean?
Stalking at its highest level.
I mean, yeah, because I'm sure even NFL players and athletes, you don't think these fucking organizations and they do diligence, did they research? I need to know his family, where he's from. You know what I'm saying? Like his, because we about to invest millions of dollars into you, so we gotta make sure we know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We ain't wasting our money.
They be messing up the money. They be like preventing certain rappers from performing at certain clubs.
Oh, so they just be doing some hating shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Sometimes
they like hire bullies.
Sometimes raids can be called even if there's no violence. They happen simply if the club books an artist the cops don't want them to. Damn, you're stopping somebody's.
But what if like the artist that's doing it is just like some hot ass artist?
True.
Who we just they bring a certain crowd, because certain concerts they bring certain crowds. You know what I mean?
True.
Like every artist don't bring out the same crowd. So
that's true.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Because I know you go to a Currency show or some shit, you probably straight. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you go to some other shit,
it's just crazy. Like
you go to some drill joints, it's probably gonna be a different energy.
Oh yeah, next level.
You know what I'm saying? That's a different energy.
All testosterone.
And alcohol.
That's the worst mix. That's the worst mix ever.
You ever been to a UFC fight?
I have not.
That's all it is. This motherfucker is testosterone. Niggas trying to fight.
Niggas in that joint. Wow.
True, I can see that. That's like going to football games. Like, you know what I mean? You jacked up.
Yeah, I mean, some football game. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen some wild shit like at a football game though? Like like one game, because I be seeing all these videos on the internet, but I've never seen like nothing just crazy like at a game I was at.
No, I've seen some shit.
For real.
I've seen people scrapping like a couple football games.
Yeah.
You know what?
How does that even happen though?
I don't know.
You want to know?
Like how? Because huh? Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy though? Like the handful of times that I've been like super duper like fucked up, twice was at a football at a Redskins game. It's like, yo, I'm out here. First of all, the first time I went, it was the Eagles game. It was the first game of the year, and it was hot as fuck. And I'm pounding. I'm just drinking and like excessively. And then I brought my vape in and I smoked. Nigga, I was out there fucked up. I was like, yo, I am fucked up right now. Like I just started dropping my drink and shit. Like, and it was just like I got sloppy. But out of nowhere though, it was like, yo, I wouldn't do this at home. You know what I'm saying? So it was like crazy. We beat Philly though.
He had to put it.
It was perfect.
So this, I mean, this rap police stuff kind of is reminiscent of some COINTELPRO. At least for me.
Yeah, what you got? What you got?
I'm just saying on the surface of it, if they're, you know, actually surveilling rappers where they go, you know, to and from shows, that's usually where you get them, or you know what I mean, you know their whereabouts, or even worse, y'all putting your location on fucking Instagram. So
they can start putting groupies on these motherfuckers.
But I'm just saying, like, stalking them on social media is the new COINTELPRO. So
just like you said, literally match some fucking serial numbers from the dollars on a pic. That's wild.
Yeah, and then even sometimes, even just people who fans, like, you know, just they even like
we on Kendrick all the time, right? So let's just say, what if he received warnings before, and that's why he
fell back?
I mean, because if you on their radar, you saying certain things.
Yeah,
it's not like you flying under the radar at that level at all.
All right, I heard I didn't listen to some, like, I don't know why, like when you go back on shit, your brain catches different or something. But I'm listening to Lupe. Lupe be saying everything we be saying.
I know, yeah.
And I'll be like, how did he just like how they, like, you know what I'm saying? How he get into the industry? If he's saying like the truth on a lot of shit,
you're right.
That should be throwing me off though, young. I don't be That's the one shit I don't be understanding, because it do be a lot of artists that be saying shit, but then you'll see that same artist, you know, throwing the symbolism, wearing the colors.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the shit that be confusing me a little bit. You know?
I know.
That's what throw like the monkey wrench in that shit. Yeah.
That's the one joint that throw you off. But I do think also, but maybe they just got to give you a little bit of, you know, truth, a little bit of real.
But the Jay Electronica shit is different, because he'll say like super, you know,
all deep
mystery
like,
school type shit.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he fucking with a Rothschild. It don't make sense.
Unless that shit is all one big thing and we think it's separate.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We might just think that shit is separate, but they might all be one big ass, like, different branches. You know, what they call it, skull and bones, and then what's like the other joint, but they still like kind of affiliated or whatever. I forgot the shit that Bill Clinton part of.
Skull and Bones.
No, but it's another joint. Bohemian Brotherhood,
Bohemian Grove.
Some shit. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Ordo
it's like another organization though. But anyway, but they all
Bilderberg.
Maybe
Trilateral Commission.
Maybe, I don't know.
I know all these motherfuckers.
But like I said, they are all still under one big umbrella, even though they have separate, you know, branches. You know what I mean? So maybe that shit is also Masonic shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
That's why all of it though.
It is.
You know, that's what I mean.
It is. That's why they got, you know, same colors and different. It's all like what
basically runs everything, because we were talking about down to the gangs. We were talking about down to the gangs.
You said somebody even said that it's the gangs, politics.
Yeah, it's all the same shit.
Yeah, all the same shit.
Sports,
but at the end of the day, it's how you put it out there in the universe. So you can, you know, if your intentions are dark, and you want to, you know, use your information on certain subjects for evil, or if you want to be on some healing and positivity, you can use it for the same thing. Like, I think so in a lot of cases, the symbols that you do see were taken from you know, a spiritual positive place, and then they took it and, you know, perverted because at the end of the day, this is Satan's stomping ground here on earth. So a lot of stuff that you do see in the physical is, you know, the complete opposite of what it is in the light.
Yep,
that's real too.
Damn, I was about to say some shit. I just lost it. Damn,
but it's crazy. Like, just I guess knowing the past with the COINTELPRO and aligning what's going on right here, with the social media and using raps for. I mean, I don't know, because as long as they keep you rapping about the wrong shit, then chances of somebody rapping about some positive shit put them on that list and they try
But what if like the whole, like, all the black rappers, what I'm saying, decided to be like, we're just gonna talk about positivity and uplifting shit, and that would like just became the norm. Like, would people stop listening to rap music?
No,
I'm talking about the world though. I'm talking about like if you just took all negative,
like if you just snap the finger,
and just snap the finger and it all turned positive, like would people still listen to it the same way?
Yeah.
If it's good, because like I feel like some of the shit that we listen to that be that get popular sounds stupid for it. Some of it sound cool, but like
it's a few people.
You can listen to I don't know who's positive. Lupe, Kendrick shit, some of J. Cole shit. I mean, it can be done.
Corday.
I don't listen to him, but I heard he's one of them.
The new wave, new wave. Like,
Joey Badass, and shit like that. Like it can't.
I love, man, when they first came out, Joey Badass with his little group, New Era, Pro Era, yeah. Man, they was talking about like third eye shit. Yeah, it was like the first niggas I actually heard talking like that. So I was like impressed, and they was like 16 years old. Yeah, so I was like, damn, these little niggas is like
he's still young. He only like 24.
Yeah, but they was talking about pure like positivity and growth. Progressive era. That's what that should be.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, speaking to his shit, like he be talking about now and stuff. He still be conscious on that shit.
Yeah. Good young man.
But that shit can't be done. But I feel like, and it's so funny because at that same time when Pro Era came out, that's when Chief Keef came out at the same fucking time. I remember listening to that shit and I was like, rap is about to change. Like these little young niggas, they got the ears of the kids. And then right after that, that nigga Chief Keef came out with that's that shit I don't like.
Yeah, that's what Kanye on the
that shit was fire though. I was like, yo, that shit goes, yo.
Kanye was on that shit. It was.
No, that beat was hard.
They ain't mixed none of that shit. It was on.
That beat was hard.
I didn't deny that shit.
That shit was fire. But I remember just constantly thinking like damn, they had to bring these niggas out right when Joey Badass and like that whole Pro Era like conscious positive music was coming out. I almost looked like I was like, yo, the industry did this shit on purpose. They was like, because I was looking at it like these little young kids is like the indigo children and shit. So they about to like come and heal the earth. So it's like if we let these young indigo children, live out their purpose, we gotta throw savages in there. We gotta give them demons. You know what I'm saying? While you know what I'm saying? And then look what happened. Joey Badass music kind of faded out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? While all these Chicago niggas and all that,
I told you he been acting.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That Chief Keef, basically the Chief Keefites, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much now that shit blew up. So it's kind of crazy. It's like they stole the frequency and turned it upside down. You know what I mean?
Speaking of frequency, do you think that we're gonna ultimately have to change? Like, if I don't know, do you think that we would have to change the music as well, instead of, because the message can be whatever, right? Mm-hmm. The message can be about positivity, but we know from based off of this podcast what they've done with the frequencies.
Oh yeah.
And as far as like, all right, if we are, you know what I'm saying? Like everything would have to change. The music itself would also have to change. Mm-hmm. We couldn't continue to, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but like, it seems for all accounts, that's how we get. I mean, you can literally say whatever on a track as long as the beat is hard, got some 808s, got the latest production. You know what I'm saying? You could probably say whatever and make it sound catchy. But I think if you do sound like that and still have the message, people will still listen.
You think?
I think so. If you mix it in, if you blend it in good, it can be done.
Okay.
I think it'd be done. Some people kind of do it already, like here and there.
Yeah. But I'm saying though, like a clean, like if you want to cut,
because I'm just like thinking about it from like an energy perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's like because like that music, that like aggressive, that violent shit kind of speaks to your carnal energy. Mm-hmm. So it's like you kind of feel more natural there. You know what I'm saying? Like now when you listen to positive music, you're not thinking more like Like nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not, that energy is a little bit different. It's like, I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you mean, because it's like sometimes, like when you like, this used to happen to me all the time. Like sometimes when I went to church, right, it'd be points where I'm just like, you know, so I'm listening to the music. It ain't hitting me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then it'd be that one song I'd be like, yo, and it'd always be the joint that have like more of like soul or like a bass. Right. You know what I'm saying? I felt more like, yo, I was actually not only just listening, but I felt the song and the message they were trying to get across.
That's how samples get you, right?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, that's true.
Straight up.
Yeah. That's true.
The soulful drums get you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It can have any drum on it, like the jump with J. Cole and 21 Savage, like that. That's a soul sample with 808s.
Yeah, and that shit was a smash.
Yeah. So I think you can do it. It's just you got to be done right.
You got to be done the right way. It can't be like, but it can't be like too bright. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think people can just like relax in that energy because it's like too like.
And the thing is, like, I don't want to like saying like, you know what I mean, this would be a super better alternative to what's out now, because the stuff that's out now is fine. It's just like the bullshit that come along with it, and the, you know, behind that shit, like, you know, all this people going to jail and you influencing people. If people had the awareness that if we didn't award shit like this more than other shit, then, you know what I'm saying, maybe, I don't know, we'd be in a better position. Because I still think you can get away with saying it if everybody knew it was fucking performative instead of people actually putting actions behind their shit, or you separating the two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. Because remember Beanie Siegel, and this was my favorite rapper back then, like by far. And before, you know, he had that case pending. What do you say? 5-0 trying to slander my name, tried charging me with attempt disrespecting my aim, and he had a case pending. Like, why would you ever say some shit like that?
Yeah. I never.
I don't know. Oh, look.
I don't know.
Try to slander my name, charge me for attempt disrespecting my aim.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Shit, I ain't heard of a bar. I ain't heard of some shit worse than that. That anybody, these young niggas ain't beating that shit.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Like shit.
It ain't enhanced.
Shout out to Beans.
Yeah. Beanie Siegel, Desert Eagle. Like, come on. Like, that's my favorite rapper, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So man, I was in the same shit then.
Right, so let's say somebody riding in their car.
Shit.
Say somebody riding in their car and shit. Like, you know, like you mean to tell me that I'm not in a opposition. I'm just trying to, like, you know, play. So it's like, you think people would rather, like, let's say like what's that song? I Ain't Never Scared. Remember that shit? Like, and you've heard that bass and just how that shit felt. Like, would you think somebody you can use that same beat but be like, but I'm always positive. But I, you know, whatever the fuck it may be, it's not gonna feel the same.
You could be saying that like fighting the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you could if you put it in that context.
Just like Big Crit.
A lot of gospel
keep
songs
the devil
like
off.
that.
I'm gonna keep the devil off.
Big Crit is probably one of the best people that can probably make
toe that line.
What we talking about. Big Crit probably one of the best at that shit for real. He had a song that came out a couple years ago that was a positive. It had a positive, like literally the name of the song was like a positive word.
Keep your head up.
Something like that, yeah. But I remember it was just like, damn, like, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of having one Big Crit, imagine it being like another Big Crit.
I think that shit fuck
it'll start
to
spread to the point where it's just like, all right, you know, saying it's like, yo,
but that's the thing.
Positive
I think it's not enough. It's not enough Big Crits because people don't want to be big. It's not
hard
enough
to be
people,
a Big Crit though.
But it's not
yes,
talent-wise,
yes, it is.
Talent-wise, yes. But I'm saying it's not enough people that's willing to do what he does because it doesn't get awarded. It doesn't get awarded.
He gives more and gets less, you know what I'm saying, than a lot of artists. You know
right.
What I'm saying?
Right.
So people are scared they're gonna do, you know, what gets, you know, awarded.
I want the fame. Yeah.
Right.
So it's
and that's the line that you told right there, you know.
Yeah.
But that goes to show where the industry is leaning, where they pushing you. Because a dude like Chris should be way bigger than, you know what I'm saying, what he is now.
Joey Gunn says it was Pick Yourself Up. That was a joint?
I think that's exactly the joint. Pick Yourself Up. I think that's the joint.
Good pull, Joey.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
But exactly, that's the point, man. like maybe if we had more of these rappers that was or you know, but it's not even about the rappers, it's about what the people want to a certain extent.
People love Chance that one album. That was a lot of positive shit.
Yeah, Chance, but then yes,
and then he had a song with Lil Wayne too.
But look, but it's like even with
No
Chance
curse.
was kind of looked at as like, but people used to kind of say Chance was like kind of cheesy or something.
Yeah,
like
super
that. Or
cheesy.
he was corny or something. You know what I mean? So it's not like he got that overall just
Right.
general universal respect from like
Yeah.
just every
Right.
You know,
I mean,
bless
you.
But Kanye did a whole quote unquote, you know, Don the album and it's no curse words and all that stuff. Even though you can hear it like X'd out.
Yeah.
But I think if everybody knew that going in, it probably could have been better. It just seemed like he did it, on his accord.
He just let them express
what
they had to express,
and then he took the curse words out. I think if everybody came in there consciously of what they're gonna do, he probably. And plus, I think a lot of stuff, even though it's good that Kanye put out, is a lot of microwave shit. Like it's like they're on the spot, people flying in, they getting it out. Kanye freestyle a lot of his shit now. It's not a lot of thought, it's a lot of emotion.
Yeah, that's for real. I can hear it in his. I can be like, this nigga ain't really like.
It's like
he's not trying to be lyrical at all.
Yeah,
He's
it's like
talking.
expressive
He
type
don't
shit.
be really.
Yeah.
There's no bars really at for real in his shit no more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all on the go. I think Rick Rubin said that shit too.
And in the now, it should be in the now. Too.
Right.
Yeah, you right about that.
You can tell about like all the references and stuff.
It almost be sounding like whatever state of mind he was in at that moment, whatever. It don't even matter what the fuck his song is about. That nigga would just start talking about whatever the fuck he going. But
and then it just usually would be like the soundtrack to whatever clothing season that he's in.
And the funny thing, the funny thing with Kanye, so like powerful, and as far as like even just in the hip hop scene, is that he don't even have to talk about what you talking about in the song. You can just literally make a verse about whatever the fuck, and you like, I think I got a Kanye verse, like
right.
I would take it.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right about that. Like, I
do you think that the so with these influencers on social media and how big of a following that they have, what do you think is stronger as far as an influence? Those like social media built influencers or rappers? Like, what do you think is stronger? Who has a
stronger influence?
Who has a stronger influence?
Rappers that are social media influencers.
Yeah, I would say that.
Rappers that are okay.
But I wouldn't say social
Touche.
media.
But I don't know, because like rappers, are usually the ones that provide the soundtrack for these social media. Because like most of the influencers just be using their dances. You know what I'm saying? Their songs,
right.
Their songs to their
songs,
dances. You know what I'm saying?
Because that shit is wild. How you can just be
because
somebody an influencer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So in order to call yourself that, you also have to understand what type of power that you actually hold. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the business of influencing people. That's crazy.
But somebody can blow up just off of somebody else's song. You do a stupid fucking dance to some fucking song, and you just blowing up off their and it's not even like a known jump.
But even speaking to like, I was speaking to more like artists and stuff like that. Like real creatives. Like designers. Real artists, painters, all that type shit. The new wave.
Y'all see anything else in the news? Crazy.
I told you about
anything when y'all been researching?
What they do?
Who?
Let me see what I got in my Palm Pilot.
I know I got this. I don't want to stir no feathers. I got this picture here. Y'all know this? It's Trade by Martin Fowler.
Oh wow,
Grandmaster.
Mason.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this though. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Oh wow,
I'm not surprised by that.
So wow. So that means, was that the sacrificial lamb?
I mean, I feel like all this shit that's been going on as far as the new age, the new pro-blackness that's developed and all this, like
wokeness and socially conscious and all that other shit. I think that started with Trayvon Martin. I think that was like the joint that sparked all this. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was conversations, but I'm talking about where, and I guess because it would happen, was that in 2012, right? Right? I think it was 2012. And
possibly.
I think that was around the internet age, you know what I'm saying? Twitter, all this other shit going on. So I think like that, the social engineering aspect of that situation
of 2012,
made it stronger because of all of everybody having their phones, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that kind of started everything, and then it, you know, all the way up to George Floyd. I feel like that was the first step, and then it led us to George Floyd, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think like that,
who was also
what,
a Freemason.
exactly.
Mhm.
And guess
That's crazy.
but who else was?
Stephen Jackson.
No, and who else was?
Steven Jackson?
That was, you know, stood up first.
That's his
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Or his lookalike.
Well, who do you mean who else was?
Oh, I thought Chauvin was too.
For real?
Yeah,
Could have been.
I thought it was. Could be wrong in that. Do y'all research? But I definitely saw something that said Chauvin that was as well. So, and but they did know each other before that shit. Like they already knew who, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's how it's going.
Clarence Castile, Uncle of Philando Castile. This is not. Stanley Jackson Jr. Wow.
How'd you get to that? How you find that picture?
Hold on, I'm about to pull this up. Is this Steven Jackson? Or is this twin?
That don't look like Steven Jackson at all.
All right, so who's this?
Wait, fast forward. I mean, I said fast forward. Zoom in.
Stanley Jackson. Boulay.
Your daddy's son.
Is that him?
Yeah, like you talking about Steven Jackson?
It say Stack 5. I know that's Steven Jackson. Stack 5.
Oh wait, hold on.
Instagram
I think that's his father.
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah, that's Stanley Jackson.
Stanley.
Say Stanley, but hold on, man.
So it look like Steven Jackson. You talking about?
It does look like him. Man. That's a relative. That's a relative, though. I don't know. I don't know. But I seen
it kind of like Mike.
But it do look like him though. But I seen it.
It looked like Mike Epps too a little bit.
No, but look, I seen the joint where Steven Jackson, the post on Steven Jackson's Instagram page.
That's what I'm saying. That's Steven Jackson's Instagram page.
So I know, but he said,
look,
but it was a picture on his Instagram page where he was like, he had like the little mason, he had like that little
the apron.
The apron. He had a picture of the apron. It was like, yeah, pops, you sound about to follow in your footsteps.
Okay, so yeah.
Heck. That's crazy.
Philando Castile uncle, Tracy Martin, Trayvon father.
Wow.
LeBron the Boulay, we already know that.
Yeah, of course.
You got a tat on
The exact same tat. Like I ain't know. And it looks shitty.
He was young.
George Floyd. He got that one.
33rd Street.
Oh, they trying to tie too much. I hate when like conspiracy theories like tie too much, but like you make all of us look stupid. Stop that.
Listen, like we said, Super Bowl coming up.
Oh, these that remember those Illuminati cards?
Oh yeah,
remember those Illuminati? I want to buy those. So we just run through them. We do a show. We just run through Illuminati cards. Fraternal orders. You know these cards came out in like what 95, and they be hitting like on should it be happening? Remember that shit happened? The Marshall, right in front of the White House.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What is going on?
Who was that?
Nah, he did porn too.
I was about to say that's the X video.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, that's crazy, yo.
Wow. That shit better not like sing to the phone.
Oh wow, I didn't even peep that on the trash can.
Yeah, 6.
They be trying to tie too much.
I mean, it might make sense. You said everything is connected, right?
Yeah, but sometimes be like, come on, man.
Oh yeah. Lord.
It's too much.
Hey, that is kind of wild how like the Kaepernick, they saying basically like Kaepernick taking a knee and then him taking the knees, like all these knees are,
I
like,
can't breathe.
Are symbolic. Yeah.
Twin Cities. Hold on, so they twins?
And I remember he was.
And,
What?
and Minnesota is the Twin City. That's
right.
crazy.
Are they twins for real?
No, he said that's his friend.
Oh.
That's what Steven Jackson was saying. Like that's they do kind of look alike.
Some ugly motherfuckers right there. What are you saying? 666? Was it gang ties?
I mean, they all be the same things anyway, don't they?
This shit is all crazy.
Mm-hmm. All of it. Won't be able to sleep.
George Soros. He funds Antifa, Black Lives Matter, both, you know.
I think
both sides
people keep saying like they about to try to start the New World Order. I think that shit been started.
Yeah.
Like in
yeah.
the New World Order.
It's just you know, cloaked.
What was that thing that said BLM? Go up real quick.
What did that say about T-Bone on the knee?
T-Bone.
Wait, go.
Bow loose from yeah, they reaching.
T-Bone. Taboni.
I can't stand this nigga. You already know.
Oh,
y'all
man.
Oh, Sean King. Yeah. He like Rachel. He like the man Rachel Dole.
Yeah. All right, I'm done with this.
I read a quote this giant say, if the news is fake, imagine how bad the history is.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like, goddamn. That drink, the video that you sent the other day was pretty powerful.
Which one?
The one where the guy was just saying, turn off your televisions.
Oh yeah.
That's
from I think it's called The Net or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was also reading this thing on how it was basically talking how we aren't designed to live in like we are designed to live in like small tribes, but not like big urban environments. Like as humans, like we're designed to live in like small
like
tribes.
the nature side, or like, you know, the
just in general, like, you know what I'm saying, like we like us being in a huge city, living on top of one another and all sorts of shit like that. That's not in our nature.
We're not supposed to.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the Tower of Babel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like that's what cities are pretty much.
It's like we're supposed to be a community, like, you know what I'm saying, like communities of like 20, 30 people. You know what I'm saying? Families. Essentially. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. And you kind of got a sense of that kind of growing up. Remember how like your life revolved around maybe 2 or 3 blocks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then school. But other than that,
not me. I was up and down that red line.
But I'm saying though, but like when you what you called home wasn't just your home, it was your friends that lived in your community.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And how like you can go outside and like that was like, you know, say you only go like 2 or 3 blocks.
It was more personal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was more personal.
But even with that being said, like if you have a more personalized lifestyle, mm-hmm. rather than interacting, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't interact with people that you don't know, because that's the best way to network. Mm-hmm. But in general, though, as far as you're living in,
well, if there's too many people, you can't know people personally. You have no time to know.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's my point. Yeah. That's my point. That's my whole point.
They I think it's like this. Some saying this is like too much inclusivity like waters your shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that are the most valued are the things that are the most rare. You know what I'm saying? So it's like too many people, you kind of lose a sense of yourself. You know, so I think cities alone, or even just their overall identity. You know what I'm saying? So I think cities kind of do that to people.
And all like, you know, the brick and stone and stuff, I think it kind of like what's the like reverse of amplify? Compresses,
Mhm.
you know,
There you go.
frequencies and stuff like that.
Because you're not like bouncing off
You know,
trees and living things.
Yeah.
It's like you're bouncing off cement. You know,
Mhm.
your energy
and Wi-Fi, metal, and
Yeah,
copper and
yeah.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny how like you could take like I don't know, how many people do you know in this neighborhood?
Don't fuck with these motherfuckers.
But I'm saying, but like you take
That's
that
how-
same, but you ask somebody, let's say you go to like one of those southern football towns of like Arkansas or something, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere in
Everybody
Texas.
know everybody.
Everybody knows everybody.
That's real, though.
And they know as soon as you come in, we don't know this person. They can sense it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that community of people rather than a large city versus where everybody's just distant. You see?
I mean, that's the concept of like just tribalism, just in general. You know,
Mhm.
it's like you kind of stick to your own, and you don't let outsiders in because an outsider could change the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I mean
That's
especially
the
for like
trend.
small towns. That's how you keep like its essence.
That's what exactly.
Yeah, true.
You don't want a whole bunch of outsiders coming in and building fucking Starbucks and
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
though.
because then
Opinions on shit.
because it brings a new crowd.
yeah.
Yep.
People who potentially influence, y'all culture pretty much.
Yeah, it's a threat.
Exactly.
All right, so we talking about like rappers and who they working for and blase. I don't know, just to jog our memory, there has been rap informants. So who like you can't put it past any of these niggas to be direct employees of these intelligence agencies and might be doing this shit, to carry out a mission. For people that's kind of like, I don't know,
So you
people
think some
that's
rappers
going to
are like-
listen to this because that fucking movie that we watched, with Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker, about the Tupac and Biggie shooting. Yeah, so they pretty much pinpointed there was people in LAPD and FBI that were in blood gangs that was carrying out acts of crime and stuff like that. Was also tied to Suge Knight, and we can pretty much I don't have no proof or nothing, but you can probably say Suge has some knowledge of the situation, or himself could have been actually involved with FBI.
Yep.
So, and you remember T.I.'s man Alpha Omega? Remember he was an informant.
I remember. I forgot all about that
you
shit.
saw
Yeah,
that
you're
with the
right.
big-ass
I
gun.
remember that.
He was a straight up
That
informant.
joint straight up said
Yeah.
that nigga was an informant.
Yep.
It wasn't even like a conversation. He straight up came out like, so that's wild.
And then after that, T.I. got caught buying guns from somebody, undercover agent.
Yeah,
That's wild. I forgot all about that
Yeah,
shit. That's
so
100% true.
There are like, who's to say that some of these motherfuckers aren't FBI, CIA, assets, patsies, any of this shit? Who's to say?
It needs to be, you never know.
Especially once they catch fire, like, out the pan. Look at fucking 6ix9ine. You can't say this motherfucker to this day is not an FBI agent.
I know that's real.
Yeah, it's almost as if like
With how he just came out, it's like nobody's ever looked like this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever even like, it was just weird.
And he's saying names. He's saying names, sets, streets, what they did, yelling. Everything he did was, a rack of views on YouTube, top 100. I didn't even hear the show on the radio. Like, how is that possible?
That's true. That's true.
How's that possible?
That's true.
How's he the hottest nigga shit? I've never heard a show on the radio.
Nope.
And then he goes to jail and then gets right back out for snitching. And now he's out, probably still as popular, but still popular.
You know who called that shit? You ever heard of that nigga Daylight?
Yeah.
That nigga, I remember watching this video of Daylight years ago. He was talking about this nigga. He was like, that nigga's the police. He was like, how can y'all not see this? Right? And he went to this video. He went to this video of 6ix9ine, were in the police car, right? And he was like, look, he telling y'all he the police. Look at this joint right here. And I was like, because he wasn't, it was like, how this nigga driving the police car? He's supposed to be a gang, you know what I'm saying? He's like, this nigga's driving the police. I'm telling you, like, I don't know if you can look back, type in like.
I think that's the video he did with 50 Cent though.
Maybe, but look at old video of Daylight where he was talking about. Just type in Daylight in 6ix9ine, but
This shit about to be funny.
I hope you can find it, young, because that the video was from years ago, at least 2 years ago.
But you know, 6ix9ine was on some shit. He is on some nice. I've never seen nobody look like that. Just be on.
Daylight, that nigga's a lunchbox though.
Yeah, he be on some wild shit. Nah, but he be dropping gems though. He do, but he's like just a wild dude,
a strange motherfucker.
Yeah, he different. He be losing me sometimes, but then like I said, sometimes he be saying some real shit.
Yeah, I don't see it. If anybody see it, you know, that watch this, send me that shit. I don't see it though. I'm trying to look on my other site. But yeah, FBI rap informants, COINTELPRO, how they got that petty thief in, you know, the Fred Hampton movie to infiltrate their whole shit. He was a scary ass nigga. He wasn't even no thug for real. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you get these fake wannabe gangster rappers and you put them in these certain situations to take the fall.
Yep.
End up squealing right back in this shit, and y'all following that shit and perpetuating more crime and shit. Who's the dummy? Ain't gonna be me.
It's crazy though, because we just all consumers and fans and shit, and we don't know what kind of shit be going on behind the scenes. Like,
fuck no.
How deep a lot of this shit be? I guess, like I said, it's what that Tupac and Biggie movie showed and shit.
Yeah, just how like both sides are involved, man. Everybody.
Oh, he be talking about adrenochrome?
Who?
That's Daylight.
He be talking about everything.
Did y'all see that one video back in the day where ODB, he was like, if something ever happened to me, the CIA did it, like point blank.
I know he would say it like that too. I wish I seen that.
Oh, dirty bastard.
CIA did it.
Uh-huh.
I was looking at this,
and Meth Man was like, "Man, would you be quiet?"
Tell that man be quiet.
ODB, man, he was different.
Yeah.
Wow, nigga.
Don't make him like that no more.
There was an article I was reading. It says that scientists have recently developed the technology to mind control mice using blue light, the same kind of light emitted from digital screens. And then it was saying, interesting enough, the third eye chakra is also blue, which is the mind.
Deep fucking yeah.
Do y'all think y'all brains function differently since like y'all started using y'all phones, like pretty much, you know, like before the phone era, like,
yes.
You know, but like, do you think like even just the functionality of your brain, like basically your brain is wired differently? You don't think you don't process shit the same way.
You know, when I think that happened, I think it happened because, you know, it was at a certain point, all of us, like even like when we were in college,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We went from playing the PlayStation, PS 3s at that point in time, right? But do you remember your first time plugging in your HDMI? Like going from the inputs,
I see what you're saying.
The red, blue, and white input.
Yeah, yellow, red, and
white. The yellow, red, and white to the actual HDMI.
Colors,
it was like your brain it was almost like, oh my God, like I can't believe the picture. But then all of a sudden it's like your way of gaming and watching TV and everything on the digital screen changed.
Yeah.
1080p wasn't just
I don't know. I remember the TV I had and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That change of information being processed on the screen wasn't just on the screen; it was on us as well, because our brains have to read that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes you might get a headache looking at TV too long now, because there's too much happening. Your brain got to sit there and process.
I know that is true.
You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I think so.
Yeah,
I definitely think so.
I think even just in general, just the ability just to stay focused, you know what I'm saying, on one thing for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes your phone, you're so used to like just so much different information. It's like just when you need to just focus on one thing, it's kind of harder to just stay there because you're kind of looking for something new. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I think that kind of happens too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because even like with your phone, most people don't hold their phones like this. So you hold your phone down here, your neck posture, and then like
That's true too.
It's bad overall, just in general. And if you putting stress in your neck muscles on those nerves right there, I mean, you get to the point where people having headaches and all sorts of shit.
It
you know
is
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's a good point. I'm looking for videos.
Nah, you good.
Well, I found it. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Fuck yeah. Let me turn this up. I think he was right though, P, as far as like the conspiracy side of TikTok. But it may be, some surveillance shit. I mean, ain't all this shit. Right. Surveillance shit. CIA killed me. Special cut on the album. You got two. Oh yeah, CIA killed me. Got a solo joint by the RZA, a solo joint by Raw, and bonus. What this shit? The fourth time. Hey man, you talking about the slot time? Yeah, because you know how.
Hey, it look like you don't give a fuck. It look like you don't care at all.
Everybody's scared of the government, you know what I'm saying? Because they killed Tupac and they killed Biggie Smalls. I don't care what y'all say.
Wasn't the real. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line.
The government brainwash our people with the mind control.
I didn't know he was going like that back in the day.
Hey, Meth got his head down.
There's a whole FBI file on
him. Program. You start to like it. You start to get probed with it. You start to get cloned with it. So therefore, the cloning.
I know Meth like, oh shit, this nigga doing too much. Yo, Meth was like, but was he? But was he doing too much? I know, but I'm saying, but you the Meth like whole expression. Both times. He was just like, oh shit. He was like this, like, oh shit. Both times. He didn't want to look at the camera, yo. That's funny as hell. Both times.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
That is hilarious, bro. Both times though. But yeah, we went on 2 hours. We can leave it here. I don't know. I want to pick it up somewhere after this, like go in deeper dive of this. I mean, I don't know how far we can go. I mean, I want to know like the origins of, because like pretty much like I feel like gangs started on like some protected community shit, and then at some point along the time it got infiltrated. I want to pinpoint that, and because like I feel like now what we do here is like we like investigative hood journalists. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because like we know the conspiracy, but I want to know like how do you prove the conspiracy? You prove the conspiracy through motives. So if we can like pinpoint when that took a turn as far as like quote unquote American gangs, because if you look at some of them, it started positive. You know what I'm saying? Protecting the community, putting kids in better education centers and stuff like that, giving them lunches and stuff like that, because a lot of them go home hungry and angry and shit like that. So I do want to find where it took that turn and fucked up. So, and we need to line that with what they try and do now, and try and also bring down the community. I want to put light on that. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's me, Remy Please, of the Flight Room TV. There's another overtime 69 with Lighthouse.
Peace,
PhD. Keys. Catch y'all next time. We don't know what we're gonna be doing shows. It's either gonna be Sunday or Thursday. I'm gonna let you know now. But yeah, every Sunday or Thursday, 9:30 and or 10 o'clock. See you there and send us some ideas. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Hold up now.